Hello! Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel, okay? If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Today we have a really fun video. For one, I am standing. New. Something fun, something fresh. I'm in a different part of my room, okay? I'm moving around. I'm mobile. I'm not stationary. Anyway, if you've been on my channel for a little while and you've seen the Valentine's Day crochet idea video, you saw this gorgeous Valentine's themed scarf that I made. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. She's so long, she's thick. Okay, I actually made that scarf and this scarf with a knitting machine. And I asked you guys in that video, hey, do you guys want a tutorial? If you do, let me know and I will provide one. And you said, yes, we want a tutorial and we want a tutorial now. And here I am, okay? A tutorial just for you. For this video, I'm showing you how to make this gorgeous long striped scarf, as well as the one I'm wearing now. This is actually the one that this tutorial made. Super fun. So this tutorial, before you jump into it, I feel like I'm giving a weather report. I'm like, it's raining in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's almost summer in California. So I'm sweaty. Anyway, so this tutorial is 100% beginner friendly, like absolute beginner. If you just bought your knitting machine and you want to make this, you can. I go step by step, super simple, nothing crazy. I show you how to change colors. I show you how to attach and detach your scarf from the machine. Super easy. I use an Addy machine, but this also works for a Centro, literally any other kind of knitting machine. It works. It doesn't matter if you have a different machine than me, it'll still work. So if you want to make the scarf, keep watching this video. Alright, so let's get into the supplies that you're going to need for the scarf. First, you're going to need a knitting machine. This one is an Addy knitting machine, but this scarf you can do on any knitting machine. So if you have a Centro one or whatever, it doesn't matter, you can make it. Mine is 46 needles. Alright, so mine has 46 needles. So if yours has 46 needles, it'll make the same thing. Alright, also I'm sorry if you can hear my laundry in the background. I'm human, I have clothes to clean, and I don't have time to stop my laundry for this video, so it's gonna keep going in the background. Another thing you're gonna need is one of these, a preferably plastic needle. This one came with the knitting machine. It has a little bend here, which just makes your life easier, but if you only have a plastic one that's straight, you can use that one too. The bending just makes it easier to pick up your yarn. But this one or a similar one, I would avoid metal though. Don't use metal. It's not going to be helpful for you. But another thing that I suggest you get, it's not necessary, but I use it and that's how I keep the perfect tension throughout the whole scarf. Get one of these tension holders, okay? I can link down below the Etsy shop I got mine on, but what's really cool about this is the way you put your yarn through it holds different tensions. And I'm pretty sure for this one we're going to be doing if you do have this, it's on the tight tension, so the second one. So I'll show you what that means, but yeah, definitely get one of these. I'll link down where I got mine. And the other thing you're gonna need for this project is a hook to kind of sew finish our thing off. Oh, why am I missing a hook? Oh, so for me, I'm gonna be using a 5mm hook, but this is simply because the yarn we're using is weight 4. So if you're using a different weight yarn, use the hook that goes with that weight yarn. But for this, we're gonna be using a weight 4 yarn. And when you're picking out your yarn, which really, let's go over to yarn actually. So when you're picking your yarn out, the only thing you really need to be conscious of is if it's all the same weight. So I don't really know how much it ends up using, I mean we'll see, but I really just go and I grab kind of like half skeins I have of colors. This one's going to be blue themed just because I don't use blue a lot, so I have a lot of half skeins of different shades of blue. So we're going to be using these, but really you just pick whatever. Just make sure every single skein is the same weight. So they are all worst weight for yarn, okay? So what you don't want to do is have a fine weight yarn, a worst weight yarn, a bulky yarn. You don't want to do that unless you want your scarf to look really wonky. But if you want it to look like the one that I showed you that we're trying to make, you need them all to be the same weight. So I'm choosing to go with weight 4. That's the same weight I used in the other one. And I just kind of got in a little array of colors, and yeah. Another fun thing I like to have, which is not necessary for this, but if you want to make your life easier, is a drill, just because cranking, we're going to be cranking for 560 rows. So it's a lot of cranking, and if you have a drill, you can buy one of these, like weird bits that go into your drill that basically fits onto the crank thing, and it just drills really quick. So it makes the process go by faster, it makes your wrist hurt less, so definitely check that out. I'll link down where I got my attachment in the description as well. But I think that's all you need to start this project, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Most knitting machines are the same. What you're going to want to do is first you want to reset your counter here. Make sure that's on 0. But what you're going to want to do to put your yarn on here is make sure if your knitting machine has a circular versus a circular setting and a panel setting, you need to make sure that it's on the circular setting, because if you don't, you're gonna go to make a circle and it's not gonna go all the way around. And we're gonna be doing this on the circle setting, so make sure it's on the circular setting. Mine is, and make sure your thing's at 0. And then here we go. We can start. So what you want to do is move your needles until you are at the first black needle. So there are, on my machine, there are 3 black needles. So 1, 2, 3. So the first one and then the other 2 are on the left. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your first color. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll just take this teal as my first color. And when you're gonna put this on the knitting machine, what you're gonna wanna do is you're going to want to pull a bunch out, okay? We need enough, preferably, to put a single crochet line at the bottom of our scarf. So you kind of wanna have a lot. And if you think you don't have enough, just pull out some more. Really just have a lot, okay? And then you have this, okay? So you have your strand on the right and your bundle, your skein on your left, okay? So what you're gonna wanna do is go under this hook and catch it like this. And then you're gonna wanna move the crank away from you, okay? This thing right here, move it away from you, and then towards you, and then away from you, okay? To make it go in this direction. And as you move it, it's gonna go down. So what you wanna do next is make sure this yarn goes behind the hook, not under it, behind it. And then you're gonna keep turning, and you're gonna want it to go under this one, over the next one, under this one, over the next one, under, over, under, over. And you're gonna do this all the way around. Go really slow, and this is the only like really slow part. So go really slow, make sure you don't miss any hooks. Okay, you're going under and over. Don't pull too tight. It should just be like really, you really shouldn't be pulling anything, but you don't want it to be too loose. You just want it to hook and move to the next, and you're gonna keep doing this. Oh, see, I almost missed one. So just go slow. Okay, till you're back to the first one you started with. Now, when you get here, you should be back underneath the one you were already underneath. Okay, so this is where you started. You should be back underneath this one. So this is where we open our cage. Make sure this is closed the whole time you're doing that. You're gonna open your cage and you're gonna pull it through. Now this is where your tension helper comes in if you have one. You want to slide it in, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna have it come up through this hole, okay, and then back down through the first tension, because we're doing weight 4 yarn. So we're gonna be on the, since we're using size 4 yarn, weight 4, then you want to use the tight. That's what we're gonna do. So we're putting it through the 1 and we're letting it hang, okay? Now at this point you can just keep going. So just keep going, and the first couple rows you just want to go a little slow. Oh, I hit the camera. You kind of just want to go slow and make sure that your hooks are catching on the yarn before you like really pick it up, you know? Just want want to keep it going, and you want to make sure by the time you get all the way around, you should see that on everything. Like, you should see a loop on everything. And if you don't, something went horribly wrong and you need to take it off and try again. So, alright, now you're good to go. So for this point forward, you're just going to keep going until we do a color change. So I'm going to go ahead and use my drill and get it going. And then when I feel like changing a color, I will come back to you and show you how to change a color. Now, for the scarf I showed you in the beginning, I didn't keep track of how many rows I did. It was really just like off of vibes. So I'm just going to do that again. I'm just going to keep going until I feel like I want to change a color. And then I will show you how to do that. So go ahead and wind until you're ready to change a color. Alright, so I did about 40 rows. I put a book here because my yarn was snagging on the carpet. I needed like a smooth surface. But we're at row 40. Okay, I stopped at a random spot. It does not matter where you stop to change colors at all. So literally stop wherever you want. You're gonna need a pair of scissors to cut, obviously. Got my little pair here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your color. Okay, you don't need a lot, just enough, not too much. You're gonna cut your old color. Okay. Now, then you're going to bring in your new color, which for me, I think I'm gonna go with the darker blue so you can really see the difference. But what we're gonna do is you bring in your new color and you're gonna open this, pull your yarn through, and you're gonna make sure you close this so it's not in the way. So what you want to do is, if you see how this catches here, how this yarn catches under this hook, okay, pay attention to that. You want to put it into the center and stop. Then you're gonna want to take your other color and you're gonna want to put it under the next hook. So your other color ends on this hook. Your new color, you want to hook onto the next one. So that's where you put it, and then you want to weave it through like usual through here. Okay, now this part is the tricky part. You want to make sure you do right. So when I go to turn this, it's going to get hooked under this one. That's the goal. So you should be holding your previous two colors in your hand, pulling it so that it doesn't get stuck anywhere. You want to turn it a little so that both colors kind of get hooked over here, and you're still holding tight onto these two. Okay, now to finish this off, you are simply going to tie a knot. So you're going to tie these two pieces together, and when you pull, you want to make sure that this knot is going underneath this red thing. So you want to pull until it's underneath the red thing, and you just want to tie it again, and you make sure it's underneath the red thing, and just pull a tight little knot so it's not going to come undone. And then you just put these extra strands in the middle, and if they're in your way, you can cut them shorter. I like to leave them long because when you cut them shorter, they start to come this way and they get in the way. So I just leave them long and I put it in the middle. And you don't even have to weave these in the end, because this scarf is like a tube scarf. So all of this is the inside of the scarf, so it's never going to be seen. So that's the really cool part about this, is if you hate weaving in ends, you don't have to. Every time you color change, it'll be inside the scarf, so it doesn't matter. Now you have your new color, and what I like to do with my new color is, if I have a drill, which I do, I'm going to just do this first row by hand, just to make sure the new color is catching well with the old color. And I like to get a couple rows away from where I changed it, because when I'm going really fast, this can just like slip in and then make a mess. So I like to do a couple rows, just making sure that that knot stays out of the way. And I just go slow and make sure it just stays out of the way until it's kind of further, and then I put my drill back on. So now that you know how to change a color, what you're going to do is you're going to keep doing this until you hit 560 rows. If you want it to be as long as the example, if you want it to be shorter, make it shorter, but 560 rows is the golden number for the scarf. So keep doing you, change colors when you want, now that you know how, and I will meet you back here when you get to your 560th row, and I will show you how to take it off of the machine and finish the scarf. Alrighty, y'all. We've hit our, actually we can take this off now. we've hit our 560 rows. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna need to grab that needle I mentioned earlier, this one, preferably plastic and preferably with that little bendy end, but a non-bendy one will work just fine. So now that you're done, you're going to take your yarn and you're going to pull out a bunch. You really want enough to go all the way around and to be able to single crochet across, so you really want a lot. And once you have like a lot pulled out, you can go ahead and cut it, and now you're ready to take it off. Now this is the scariest part, obviously, for most people because it can unravel if you do it wrong, but I'm gonna walk you through it and you're gonna be just fine. So you're gonna get to the end of, I definitely did not pull enough of this out, but whatever. So you're gonna get to the end of your string of yarn and you're gonna put it through your needle. Now once this is done, we gotta be a little very careful with this. I'm gonna get you a little closer so you gotta see exactly what I'm doing. So what you're going to do is you're gonna take it out of the cage. Okay, close this because we're gonna be turning it and it'll break if it's open. So make sure this is closed. Now it looks like it caught under this one, so we're gonna kind of move it a little. All right, so the one that it's caught under, don't worry about this one or any of these, okay? We're gonna be working this way. So you're gonna take all your yarn. Sorry if you can hear the leaf blower in the background. All right, so what you do is you're going to, this is where it's coming out. Okay, I'm trying to make sure you can see it. I know it's a hard color. This is where it's hooked. So you're gonna ignore this part. You're gonna go into the next one because when I continue to turn this, it's gonna pop off. So this stitch is gonna be able to unravel. So you're gonna move it and you're gonna go really slow. So you're going into this next one. And what you're gonna wanna do, actually let me see if I can zoom in. I'll zoom in so you can really see it. Okay, so this is where our yarn's coming out and this is the next one. So you're gonna wanna put your needle between these two teeth to catch it, all right, before it comes off. Now these ones are good because the needles are still up, but as you turn, the needle's gonna go down and this can easily pop off. So you really just wanna go slow and you can pull through all of your yarn at once. You can do a couple and then pull it through. It's really up to you. I'll do a couple. The first one I'll kind of pull all the way through, but so you just put your needle in between these two teeth, catch that loop, and your right hand is turning slowly as you do this. So I will grab like 2 and then I'll pull it all through just so it doesn't get knotted. See how it kind of bunches up because there's a lot. And you don't want to pull too tight. So when you pull it through, you kind of just want to keep it loose. Like see how you can still kind of see it? You don't want to be too tight because then it'll be cinched, and we're not doing cinched. We want it to be lay flat, so we don't want to do that. And just make sure, yep, okay. So we'll just keep going. So you go slow, you insert your needle into this loop, there we go. Pull through, and you're gonna do this all the way around. Now go slow, don't rush this, because if you rush it and you pop a stitch off and you don't catch it, it literally just unravels your project and you'll have to go to another video because I don't know how to help you. Because I've never unraveled, I don't know how to fix it. So that's why I said the plastic makes things easier, because the plastic is kind of bendy and you can bend it. Definitely only turn your machine to where you have like 2 or 3 of these hooks exposed. Don't turn it and have all of these exposed while you're trying to weave in. That's how you end up popping one off. So alright, so you do that all the way till you get the last one off, and you can go ahead and pull your needle out. And now your scarf should be disconnected from the machine, so you can literally just pull it right off. If you did it like me, you have this like bundle of just scarf. So let's go ahead and pull it out. Now, fresh off the machine, you're looking at the inside of your scarf. So what we need to do is stick your hand you'll find where you started. Stick your hand in here and all the way through and pull, oh, I hit my camera, and pull out the other end of the scarf. Basically, we're turning it right side out because right now it's inside out. Grab the end and also grab the yarn that you used to close it. Hold it in your hand to pull it through. You hold the end and you just pull it through, because the thing is, you don't want to stretch the scarf. I don't want to stretch it out. It's already pretty long. So you kind of want to do this in a way where you're not really stretching it out. When it's done, it should look like this. You should see the knitted side. Please focus. You should see this like knit pattern on the outside. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half. Basically, we're trying to line up the bottoms, so you want it to be folded. So I did more even stripes. So fold it in half and just kind of keep folding it until, see how it's all twisted? You want this to flatten out and you want it to be even on both sides. So, and you just kind of flatten it on top of each other, and then I just keep folding it. And you just keep doing this till you get to the end nicely, and then now we are at the end. So now this is one end of your scarf, so you can move that out of the way with your long string you started with. And this is the other end of your scarf. So let's start here. So what you want to do is kind of find where your string ended and make that like your side where you start, if you want to make your life easier. Then earlier, like I said, you needed a 5mm hook, or just a hook that matches the weight yarn you chose. So I'm doing 5mm. So I'm a righty, so I need this to be on the other side. So I'm just gonna twist it so that I can crochet this way, but it's gonna do the same thing. It doesn't get all messed up, so it's still gonna be a flat line. I just have to start over here. What you're gonna do is take your string. This is a really long one we made sure to pull out. And what you do is you match. There isn't like a perfect way to do this, so don't stress. What you do is you just, there's an opening here, and you want to match the two sides and just place a row of single crochets. So stick your hook in the side here, really wherever, pull through this yarn, chain one, put it back in there, and do a single crochet. And then you're just going to single crochet all the way across. Now you want to try your best to make sure you're like kind of lining up the stitches. It's a little difficult, so don't stress too much about it, but try. Keyword being try. I just kind of like try my best to line it up. It's not going to be perfect, but it's not going to unravel, so don't worry about it. You already looped your yarn through when you pulled it off, so it's not going to unravel. This is just to seal the two sides together. And you don't even really have to do this if you don't want to. I just think it makes the scarf look like more finished. And it's not perfect, but see? You got like a single crochet line going. So you just do this all the way across. And I don't really have like a number for you on how many single crochets. You really just do it all the way across. I'm sure there's probably better ways to do this, but this is just how I did it. So this is like the most beginner friendly, like doesn't really, you don't have to be that good at anything to do this. You can be brand new. This can actually be your first project on your knitting machine. Alright, so you just did your whole row of single crochets, so now it's like sealed shut. You chain one and you pull your yarn through. We ended up having the perfect amount, and then you'll just take a needle and you'll weave this in and cut it off. So you do the same thing to the other side. So what we just did here, it gave us a nice end to our scarf, and we're just going to do it on the other side here. You just want to make sure you unroll it till you're seeing the edges, and you just do the same thing for this side. Yay! You just created a knit scarf with your knitting machine, possibly for the first time. Congratulations. Give yourself a little patsy on the back, okay? It is time to celebrate. Go post pictures of it. Tag me on Instagram if you post pictures on Instagram with your scarf. Let me know how the tutorial worked for you. Comment down below if you had any issues when you were making yours and you don't know how to fix it and you need help. Comment with as much detail as possible, and I will do my best to help you down in the comment section down below. If you want more content from me, or to get extra entries into the Instagram giveaways, or exclusive Q&A videos, check out my Patreon, also linked down below. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. I love you. Bye!